I don't know what you're looking. Why are you looking at me like that for? You're looking at me for a reaction. That's terrible. I was thinking that maybe I do him a disservice. I was just thinking, I look at that as a Manchester United manager, and does it give me inspiration? No, not at all. Nothing about his demeanour screams, I want to do it for you. Doesn't inspire me. Doesn't inspire me at all.
For me, he's been confused about what it is he was, well, perhaps not what he was looking to achieve, but what he is, what he was going to be as a Manchester United manager. So many bemusing decisions. I can't ask you, Yorkie, as an ambassador of the football club.
No.
Looking maybe for you to at some point, but not on this subject. Purchases that have been wildly misguided. Wildly.
Players he knows.
I still don't know what United is supposed to be, what he was looking to achieve. I don't know what they are.
No, I don't. And it's not just I don't know what they are now. There's been a complication of things, like when they bought Wout Weghorst, another extraordinary loan. Was it a loan? I think it was a loan.
Yeah, loan.
Right, and they were supposed to be the best pressing side in the country. That's what we're going to do. He's the pressing monster. He's going to start the press, and we're going to be on the front foot. No, when? I haven't seen anything like that. This year, we're told they're a counter-attacking side. They're going to beat teams in transition with the pace they've got at the top end of the pitch. I haven't seen much of that either, if I'm honest with you, Richard. United are fortunate this season because they've been in a few games like this and they've got out of jail, and quite a lot of them,
yes,
when they probably haven't deserved to.
From their first game against Wolves.
So they're probably 7 or 8 points better off than their performances have suggested where they should be.
Yeah. One down at 90 minutes.
I know. So that's what it's been like for them. And this was another case where you just thought, wow, it's not going to be Newcastle. It's going to be Newcastle's night. Chance after chance came, chance after chance went. But they got the breakthrough.
I mean, without being overly critical, right? What do you see? Do you see a time when United have at any point looked better under Ten Hag than they have predecessors?
No, I think this season, I think last season there were times when I thought they looked extremely well. And from there, I think a lot of fans, including myself, think that, we're going in the right direction. Don't forget, let's be fair on the topic. We got to 2 cup finals. I finished 3rd last season. Good record, and then when you go in there as a manager, you want to get off to that type of start, and then you go build from there. But what we have seen is a different contrast to what we thought we might have got.
Sorry to interrupt briefly. Was he lucky? Sharp? Was that?
It's
could have been,
listen, I think he's lucky. I mean, it's the first time I've seen that.
Maybe a yellow, not
lucky.
or quite a red.
Sorry.
So. Yeah, I just think from this season onwards, what we expected hasn't really materialized, and that's fair to say. I think it's obvious where we are. Result like Andy's mentioned that I think we're a bit lucky or fortunate, so to speak, in some games that we looked, outplayed on many occasions.
Into this, I was reading things he'd said. We can smell the top 4. He said. Well,
we've been in the top 4. That's not progressing.
Look back on the games that United have played this year and the wins against Luton, Sheffield United, Burnley, Brentford, Forest, Wolves. They haven't played anybody. The only 2 big games they've played, they're lost to City. Well, 3 now. Well, so what exactly are they?
You said a stats earlier on. You haven't beaten what?
Haven't beaten the team in the top 8 for 2 years.
Away from home. In 2 years. So that's not Manchester.
That's very unlikely. You're not going to challenge anybody if you can't do that, are you? Really, to be fair. And top 4 is probably a realistic position that they want to get into consistently. But that's never been the United way of thinking.
I guess they'll take the Europa League seriously, will they?
It's a bit low, isn't it? But I can see it. We got to be careful, and that's a very, very strong possibility. I know we might be laughing and joking about it, but that might be the only way that they might be able to qualify for Champions League.
You're going to have to find something to beat. I mean, I'm guessing you're going to have to beat Bayern Munich. I know it's at Old Trafford, but that's a big ask.
It is a big ask, and the way we perform, particularly today, it's not very encouraging. What we got next week? We've
got Chelsea at Old Trafford, followed by Bournemouth.
They're coming up.
Liverpool.
By Liverpool. Then
West Ham.
West Ham away, and Aston Villa.
Yeah,
that's
a tough. That's not easy. That's not easy, and you can, you can sort of beat around the bushes in some way or try to safeguard that. That's a really, really tough run in there.
Looking at that, you could quite easily say this month of December is going to decide what kind of season they're going to have, because I mean, I can see Bournemouth at home probably win that, but would I be confident of that side I watched tonight winning any other of those games? No, I wouldn't.
And I'm not sure, even when Jim Ratcliffe finally gets his £1.25 billion piece of Manchester United, I'm not sure what progress they will make under his, I would say, guidance, leadership. No. It's neither, is it? Because he's not got a majority shareholder or anything like it in the football club. So I don't know what the future brings, if at all anything different to this space that they currently occupy.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The players don't really get caught up in all that. At the end of the day, you still got to put out a football team that...
Yeah, and I'm not saying the players, Dwight, but I mean, a huge amounts of money have been wasted on this squad. Anthony, I'd just go through them again. Casemiro, they've had him for 18 months, spent multi-millions on him. Not just on his personal terms, buying. Where are you getting money back for these players? Varane,
Hoyland, we don't know.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know.
Pop at the minute, we're not sure. He might be a good player, but the keeper.
You never get your good return on United players. Where have we in the past players have left United?
No,
and really
but the return is you get success with them.
I agree. That's it. That's the one thing. The reason I went to United was, I won't say guaranteed, but you're likely to get success. And at the moment, these players, when you come to United at the moment, we're not seeing that. We're not seeing the money that is spent overall. We're not getting anything in return. We're getting, these players, as you mentioned.
United would always, even if they didn't necessarily want the player, they'd go and buy everybody else's best player.
Yes, they would.
To weaken the opposition.
Yes, they would.
Who are they going to sign now of equivalent?
No one. They're down the pecking order. They are down the pecking order when you look at the Premier League with regards to clubs. It's still a massive club worldwide. It's a huge club. Still arguably the biggest in the world, biggest support in the world. But that will only last so long. That the fans will find, and that's what football fans, certainly worldwide football fans, will find other teams more palatable to watch
than this
United.
If you're a top player today, Andy, would you be thinking about signing for Manchester United?
If they were all available?
No, if you're a top player, you've got options.
That's what I'm saying, you've got options. No, I think we've seen that already. We've seen that already this season. I think the one for me was, I think if United were serious, and I might be totally wrong, but I think they would have gone and made a big play for Kane and got him. And I think that would have been the one for me, to have made a statement. If you want to make a statement and say, we mean business here, then go and buy Harry Kane when you know that they were going to sell him, and make them an offer and keep the money you could have spent on Anna, because you've got a fantastic goalkeeper and David De Gea there anyway, and stick it in and get Kane and say, right, we mean business now. But they didn't. They buy a kid who we don't know whether he's going to be any good or not, and a goalkeeper who I don't think they needed.
No.
I agree with that.
It's a worry, isn't it? If you're a United fan.
Yeah, you're going to be a little bit concerned. And let's be true to the point. I think Harry Kane would have been an absolutely brilliant buy for us. I think we missed the boat with Halland as well. I think there was an opportunity under Oli to have gotten him, from what I know. And we missed that boat as well. We could have gone out there and pay over the odds. We've been paying over the odds
On the subject of Holland, how close do you think United were or could have been if they wanted to?
I would say 75%.
Wow.
So somebody made an enormous error, didn't
Yeah, well, I can't go into too many
Well, you
details.
can if you like.
But,
I mean, obviously,
but the reality,
share it with too many
we could have gotten Halland, I reckon, and we had people in certain positions at the time to sort of make that call and decision.
why do you think? All right, but why do you think they didn't?
I just think that they didn't go out on the limbs to get him. I just didn't think they wanted to pay over the odds to get him.
No.
And are we talking pre-Dortmund? That period of time in his life?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
And Solskjaer, having worked with him previously in Norway, knew exactly what he would have been getting.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we had probably a little head start than most. So I think with that was enough for us to get the deal over the line, I think. But for some reason we didn't able to materialize. I'm sure there was more to it. But from what I know, or the little that I know...
Well, if there wasn't, let's pretend.
Let's pretend, joking. We won't say anything.
That's, for me, that's what it was. And I think when those little things are not going for you, or you haven't done that, shows. And then the Harry Kane scenario, again, I don't know the ins and outs, but I would have thought, I agree with Andy 100%. We should have gone and gone, right, there's a big statement. We pay you the 100 million, whatever you need, and get him to come to Old Trafford.
Because that was the big gap for me in United. That was it. A centre forward,
we were calling out for a
guaranteed.
Yeah,
that's the big.
And on the back of what Rashford was doing, that particular club, and we are a massive club. But those are the kind of things that we should be doing to really reinstate the club. You know, spending power. You know, you can see the amount of money we already spend on these other players. Yeah. What's stopping us from going and...
Well, there was a time, wasn't there, you'd just go and sign Tottenham's best player every year, Carrick.
West Ham's best player.
Yeah, I mean, the Berbatov, Sheringham.
Yeah.
It was consistent.
But the difference now, those other teams now have got their upper hands on us. And so that's where the problem comes in. You get that choices where United used to be a no-brainer. You never used to think twice when United come in for you. Now the situation, the table has turned. So there's the competitiveness.
The amazing thing for me, Dwight, is that I look at that United side that I've got in front of me here, and I think of the top 5 or 6 teams in the league.
Who would play?
Who would they take from your team? And I'm struggling. I'm really struggling.
The honest answer is none of them. And on current form.
And this is Manchester United we're talking about. It's extraordinary. Extraordinary.